Got some very sad news yesterday, and I was really surprised to hear Tony Blankley died at the age of 63. Tony's been probably on this radio station as a guest or a guest host for 20 years now, certainly for the last 10 years since I started working here, and obviously he did some unbelievable things during the Reagan years as a speechwriter, worked with Newt Gingrich, was his press secretary, great conservative writer, a columnist, worked for the Washington Times, very influential, great thinker, and I have to say, listen, there will be a lot more important people than me who talk about Tony Blankley today, but I got to know him, and I've always loved reading him. I've always enjoyed listening to him on the radio or seeing him on television, but he came in on a regular basis starting last year and would do guest hosting with me. Mm-hmm. Just an absolutely wonderful man.
Yeah.
Just a great human being, a great thinker, very gracious, quick-witted. The depth of knowledge that he had was breathtaking. From everything from Hollywood. He was a child actor, actually.
I know. I didn't even know that until yesterday. Apparently, most people did, but I had missed that entirely.
His dad was Winston Churchill's accountant, so came from Britain, but loved America and, loved the relationship with Britain. But I learned a lot from him, but more than anything, I just came away always, he was just a perfect gentleman, a wonderful thinker, could articulate his ideas very quickly, and really just enjoyed discussing politics.
Yeah, I was very saddened to hear the news. It was quite a surprise. I guess I knew that he had battled cancer, but I thought it was under control, or that he was doing okay with it. Stomach cancer, that's a bad one. That's a tough one. But it was just a month ago. He was on this radio show, and I asked him a question about his past relationship with Newt Gingrich and whether he ever thought Newt, would be where he is today. I recall very clearly, seeing you around the halls, hanging out with Newt. Yep. And you were there during those days. Did you ever imagine back then that Newt Gingrich would be seriously considered as a presidential candidate?
Well, if I'm under oath, I have to say, actually, yes.
Really? You did?
Now, I mean, as the years progressed, I understood that all the wounds you take in years of battle with, between Newt and Clinton and all the things that one does made it less likely. And I think I'm sort of pleasantly, slightly surprised at how well he's doing. But I thought when I started working with him after a couple of years that he had a vision of the future and it was unlimited potentially. So I'm one of the guys who thought he was potentially going to go to the top from the beginning.
It's a voice we're going to miss for sure.
Yeah, I mean he was a lovely guy, great sense of humor, a snappy dresser. Oh.
Well,
man, he knew how to rock the old double-breasted suit. I'll tell you.
I feel like it's not that often that you meet people who've been in politics for a long time, been in Washington for a long time, and then they come out the other end cheery and kind and charming and seem like a real person. A lot of times if you get caught up in the machinery here, that doesn't happen. And he just seemed like such a warm, kind person, always had a good attitude, and I love the snappy dressing, because this town is full of droids who all dress alike and can't possibly step out of line with a different color tie, and that dude knew how to do it.
He was the best dresser you've ever seen. I was telling my wife about that last night. You're like, really? I was like, I'm telling you, there's nobody who wore. He not only was the suit great, but he wore it great.
No, like he sits down and he's on the McLaughlin group in like an orange shirt and an orange tie, and he's like, what? What?
And it worked.
Yes.
And it was like, awesome. A great sense of humor. He always had a great story to tell. But I mean, he was there during the big revolution up on Capitol Hill that put the Republicans first in charge. He was there as Newt's right-hand guy, and more than just a guy who wrote speeches or talking points for Newt. I think he was a guy that Newt leaned on quite a bit, and the Republicans leaned on. He was a wise man, and you gotta understand, this guy came to this country from England. He was a naturalized citizen. He loved this country as much as any American that I've ever met.
He also had what a lot of people don't have these days, including politicians, that is optimism.
Yes.
He was always optimistic. He wrote a great piece, about, look, America has been through a lot of tough times in the past. Yes, this recession is horrible. It's affected, millions of people, and it may get worse before it gets better. But come on. pick yourself up. We're going to be okay. We're going to get through this no matter what, because we are America. And it was just a powerful piece. I remember it. And I remember him telling me off the air and said, look, I'm battling stomach cancer. I mean, I've looked at death right in the eye, and yes, I don't want to die. I want to stay here, but come on, we're going to be okay.
Right.
And I don't know if it was that, but he was always optimistic even before then, but just a really great guy. He always he was interested in other things besides politics. He liked pop culture a lot. I was just so surprised at. I mean, he knew Kim Kardashian. He knew who she was. Didn't mind talking about her. We did a talk topic one morning that he wanted to do was what things were you are you not allowed to do today as a kid that you were when we were kids?
I like that.
And he loved it. It was fascinating.
Well, I, for one, am going to go back and look at some Lassie episodes and try to find little Anthony Blankley. Apparently, because he had a British accent, he was able to land more roles because they needed little British kids. And he was in the 1956 Humphrey Bogart film, The Harder They Fall. How cool is that? It's a really cool American story. Hollywood, Washington, he's got it all.
Yeah, he will be sorely missed. Tony Blankley, dead at the age of 63 from stomach cancer. We had him on the show about a month ago. I saw him on CNN not too long ago.
Sounded and looked great.
I thought he was doing. I didn't realize that it was as bad as it was. So Tony Blankley will be sorely missed by everyone at WMAL, by everyone who listens to this radio station, and by Republicans, Democrats, and Americans, and human beings everywhere, because we lost a good guy.
Yeah, rest in peace.